The story begins with the main character named Solomon, who wakes up his son Dia early in the morning to go to school. Solomon had a dream that his son would study and one day become a doctor. On his way back from school, he saw his dad Solomon, who told him that today's class was very good. I learned a lot. Both father and son were talking to each other. At the same time, Solomon saw some rebels were coming towards their village, waving guns and weapons in their hands. Running fast, Solomon started running towards his family. As soon as he came to the village, all the rebels' men started shooting all the common people there with guns. Children, old people, mothers and sisters do not leave anyone. They keep killing everyone. Running fast, Solomon cut the hut of his house from behind and started running away from there while taking out his family. But then, some rebels take Solomon hostage. He shouted loudly and gave his son and told his wife-like mother to run away. Dia and her mother ran away, but Solomon was trapped between them. The rebels were holding the villagers and cutting their hands. At the same time, we see that there were many children in the crowd of rebels who were celebrating with guns in their hands as if they did not care at all. When the rebels were ready to cut Solomon's hand, at the same time, the captain named Poison stops them, saying that this man is tough and he can be useful in our mines. In fact, they were cutting the hands of all the common people because they were voting for all the governments. And they did not want that at all because they believed that if there is no hand, there will be no vote. In fact, they were encouraging the revolution of the RUF against all the governments. In the second scene, a large mine is shown where diamonds were being extracted from the water from many people's places. In fact, these diamonds are being used to buy weapons from other countries. Whoever finds a diamond, he brings it directly to the captain. And if anyone tried to steal it when he got the diamond, the captain puts him to sleep there. At the same time, Solomon was also put to work in the same mine that during that time, Solomon gets a stone in his hand which he sees and understands that this stone cannot be any ordinary stone at all. It looked like a pink diamond. That's why he carefully presses it into the thumb of his foot. After that, he took permission from the captain's man on the pretext of the toilet and started moving forward. But then, during that time, the captain saw him coming out and his hands started checking his face. But he does not get anything. Hiding behind some bushes out of the water, Solomon was burying that stone in the soil as he was doing. At the same time, the captain caught him and started asking for that stone from him on the tip of the gun. But then suddenly the government's army bombed there, which injured the captain and gave Solomon a chance to escape. Now, because Solomon was caught by them, he hides that stone in the same place and is caught by the army. In the second scene, a boy named Danny Archer was shown who had landed in Africa from Zimbabwe to negotiate with Commander Zero. Commander Zero's men took him to him where he gives him a lot of diamonds in return for the gun. But on the way, Danny Archer was caught by the army because he was doing illegal work. The army saw that Danny Archer was hiding all those diamonds in the body of the goats and was taking them to another country. Here, all the rebels are shown together and the RUF starts shouting and shouting. RUF means Revolutionary United Front, that is, they attack villages and scare them to death. Along with forcing people to work, they take over the diamond mines. They even kidnap small children and make them their team, that is, the rebel soldiers, when they do not even know how to understand anything properly. The captain was also brought to the same jail who, as soon as he sees Solomon, starts asking him where that stone is. But Solomon remained silent as if he did not know anything. Danny was also present in the same jail and he hears all this from him. And he understands with all his heart that something is in Solomon's hands that is very precious. The next day, Danny's man got Danny released from the jail. Danny told his friend about the diamond which was in Solomon's hands. That's why somehow Danny and his friend get Solomon released from jail, because now Danny was very greedy. In the second scene, Danny Archer met a girl named Maddie who talked a lot about both of them. But when Danny found out that Maddie is a journalist, his impression of the face changed and he said, "Go to hell." But Maddie tells Danny to support me in my work and tell the whole world how much blood is being spilled behind the diamonds. But Danny did not want to interfere in his such work. In the second scene, Danny meets the colonel. Here it is found that the colonel is also working for money because Danny had known him for a long time. But both were thinking of their own benefits. Here with the villagers of Solomon, His wife and his son Dia were also running away. But then the rebels came there immediately and captured Dia and took her with them. It was shown that just like Dia, a lot of children are treated very badly and they are forced to hold a gun in their hands. Along with Captain Dia, this garbage mixes in the minds of all those children that your parents kept you in a hut, did not give you freedom, which made your life worse than hell. That's why you will all shed people's blood from today. As we said in the beginning that the rebels force people and children and beat them to make them rebels. All those children are beaten so much that the children become unconscious and continue to work as they say, like shedding people's blood. The next day, Danny met Archer Solomon and told him, "I know you have a pink stone," but after listening to him, Solomon started to leave. Actually, Danny wanted to make friends with him and go behind the pink stone, that at the same time, the rebels bombarded and attacked the same village where the two were present. In this race, both Danny and Solomon have a deal to divide the pink diamond in half. On the other hand, all the rebels continue to shoot people. They were doing this because their leader, that is, the captain, was captured and wanted to take the pink diamond. Many government soldiers are also killed. People's blood was being spilled like water. People are killed with a lot of bullets. While running, the two reached the place where some ordinary people were already hiding. At night, when the two started running from here, they saw that the corpses of innocent people on the road had fallen like a log. The rebels were still celebrating the terror. While running, Danny shoots some rebels. Danny reaches the place with Solomon and Maddie where 10 lakh people had come to leave their village in a deserted place. Here Solomon met his wife Jessie, who was crying tears of joy in Solomon's eyes. At the same time, Solomon met his daughter when he started asking about Dia. Where is she? Then Jessie says that the rebels forcibly took her with them. At the same time, the army people started beating everyone with his wife and took them inside. Actually, this was the same refugee camp where people are kept as prisoners, including Solomon's wife. Maddie tells Solomon that she has said that she cannot be released until the ceasefire is over. Now, because they had to reach the place where Solomon had hidden the pink diamond. Therefore, Danny turns Solomon into a cameraman with Maddie, that is when the rebel soldiers of the refugee attack them, in which many innocent people's lives are lost in a blink of an eye. Now, because Solomon cannot be run by Danny, he immediately takes him away from here. That is when some more rebels attack them, in which a lot of people's lives are lost. All this was happening for a diamond that the driver of the car in which Danny, Solomon, and Maddie were in is killed. That's why now Danny started running away from here. While running away, his car gets stuck in such a place from where he now had to run on foot. While running from the jungle, they all reach the place that the tribal people of the same jungle catch them. But Maddie starts taking pictures with them, which made them happy and started showing them the way ahead. The tribal people took them to a trusted person who could tell them where Solomon's family must have been hidden. At night, Maddie talks to Danny because she also wanted to see her benefits and Danny wanted to get that diamond. But even now Maddie did not know that Danny and Solomon were both after a pink diamond. Now because Maddie was a journalist, that's why she wanted to take Danny and show people how diamonds are minted and how people's blood is shed. How big companies and dealers are connected to each other. The next day, when Benjamin was leaving the car with all three, at the same time, some rebellious children of the RUF who had guns in their hands stopped them. Now, according to the rebellious children, only the RUF could pass through here. That's why the rebellious children shoot Benjamin. As soon as this happened, Danny quickly drove the car and moved on. Now, because he had to save Benjamin, that's why he brings the army to the airport. Now, Danny had understood from here, if more people stayed with him in this way, then God knows how many lives will be lost in the future. That's why now he decides to leave alone with Solomon. Maddie also wanted to go with him, but Danny clearly refuses to take him with him. Here Danny and Maddie had a little bonding between them because they had a goodwill between them. Both wanted to help people. Danny and Solomon walk here to go to the place where Solomon had buried the diamonds. It was night while walking, and when the people of the RUF were leaving the car, Solomon felt that Dia was with them. But there was nothing like that. As soon as he shouted Dia, they all started shooting at him. It started raining heavily. While running, they both hide at one place, which saved their lives for now. The next day, Danny woke Solomon up from his sleep and threatened him that if you try to say and do something without my permission from now on, then I will kill you at that time. From here, Danny had started to show his color. Moving forward, the two reached a village, where many people of the village were killed and thrown. While walking, there are two turns in their way. One was going towards the diamond, for which these people had left. But Solomon started going towards the RUF where his family had been imprisoned. Danny forbids him to do so, but when Solomon does not listen to him, there is a little fight between them. Now, because Solomon had to first free his family, then later look for the diamond, so Danny listens to him and gives up. While walking for many nights and days, they started climbing both the stones. On the other side, Solomon's son Dia was shown, who had now become a complete rebel. He was listening to him. Solomon and Danny reached the place where the work of the mines was going on, where people were still being forced to work. After seeing this, Danny tells the colonel from the satellite phone that he has found the diamond field. Come here with the people as soon as possible. Solomon did not want this because he felt that if his son Dia was there, he would be killed. But Danny believed that he could not be there because he had been made a rebel and he was not fit to work at all. And children were not allowed to work, but people were killed by them. At night, Solomon enters the refugee camp and catches his son Dia, who was playing cards like a gambler. His son refused to go with him. When Solomon started forcing his son, the refugees' rebellious children show him a gun and capture him. The next day he was presented to the captain, where he started asking him if he did not bring that pink diamond, he would kill him because he tried a lot to find it, but he did not find it anywhere. The captain told Solomon, if you did not bring that diamond, he would find his family and misbehave with his wife in front of him. Then he would kill him. At the same time, the government attacks the army diamond field. Without caring for the common people, there is a riot among the refugees. In the same fight, Solomon attacks the captain and tells Dia to run away from here. Solomon kills the same rebel captain so much that he died there. At the same time, Danny also took a gun, entered the diamond field and started killing the refugees. The army does not see that the common people are dying or rebelling. Everyone was shot by helicopters. The bodies of the blood began to fall. The survivors were caught, including Dia. After the whole matter calmed down, Danny and the colonel both forcibly asked Solomon where that pink diamond was, but he still did not tell. Because Solomon knew that even though Danny was with the colonel at this time, he could not betray Solomon. But looking at Danny's eyes, it did not seem at all that Danny was Solomon's son, so he handed Dia over to the colonel. Solomon was forced to go to the colonel and his men who were buried near the diamond. Solomon was still hoping that Danny would do something so that the diamond would not slip from his hand. Solomon starts digging that place but still does not find the diamond. The colonel thinks that he is trying to mislead us, so he put his gun straight but made a point, which now Solomon started digging the place with the diamond completely. At that time, Danny also tried to do something, but the soldier was alerted that as soon as he got a chance, Danny snatched a soldier's gun and shot everyone. And Solomon, who was digging the ground, shot the gun at the hand of the colonel. But at the same time, the colonel also tried to shoot with another gun, but coming from the other side, Danny shoots him, which kills him there. Here too, everyone was killed for just one diamond. But then, at the same time, Danny noticed that a bullet has been shot in his chest. In this regard, he does not tell Solomon and tells him to take out the diamond. When Solomon got the diamond, he gave it to his son. He had gunpoint Danny. Seeing him like this, Solomon told his son everything about his childhood, that how his father and his mother raised him up, and reminded him of his own dream that now he has to study and become a doctor. There is a dog in his house that no one listens to. After hearing so much about Dia, Solomon's son started crying tears of love in Dia's eyes that at the same time the refugees attacked them. Running away, Danny, even after being shot, started asking Solomon for that pink diamond. Solomon gave it to him after coming a long way. Danny could not walk anymore because the pain of the bullet was hurting him while walking. And when he could not run, Solomon picked him up on his shoulder and started running. Now the pain forced him to rest. That is why Danny took the diamond in his hand and started laughing carefully. Seeing his laughter, Solomon's laughter did not stop because Danny himself said that he had come only for his benefit. That is, behind this diamond. But now at this point, he has understood everything, that in this world only money is not everything. Saying this, He returned that diamond to Solomon and gave him Maddie's number and told him to call him. When you reach Conakry, Solomon does not leave him here in this condition. But now he was also helpless because the people of the refugee were still after him. Solomon left with his son Diameter. Now, because the army of the refugee had reached near Danny, he shot him with a gun and stopped him for a while so that Solomon could run away from here. He immediately put Dia in the plane and flew away. Danny's blood a lot now, so now for the last time he called Maddie and told him about the whole incident. He tells him that you have to go and help Solomon in Conakry. Maddie understands from Danny's interrogation that she was shot, with which both talked about love and their Danny died due to lack of blood. In the second scene, Maddie meets Solomon and tells him the whole process and stands in a corner and there of Solomon and the diamond traders that how diamonds are supplied. She presented all the evidence to the government and the world and handed that pink diamond to the government. In the Kimberley of South Africa, there were about 12 countries in which all the countries together kept that diamond safely in London because on this earth natural resources of all nations. The diamond cannot be sold nor can it be bought. The one who found the diamond, that is, Solomon, was called with full respect so that he can tell all the nations with full honesty. And this is where the story based on this true incident ends. Thanks for watching and subscribe this channel.